If you're working in finance right now and you're still relying on Excel for everything, you're going to hit a ceiling. Not because Excel is bad, but because your data will outgrow spreadsheets. And this is exactly where SQL comes in. In this video, I'm going to give you a complete SQL for financial analysis roadmap, CPA built and finance specific. And by the end of the video, you'll be able to pull your own data, build revenue analysis, and answer real business questions without waiting for IT to pull the data for you. But before I go any further, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps me continue to create videos like this one. So hit that subscribe button below. Okay, let's be practical. Every financial professional I know analyzing data hits the same wall. Your team is dealing with ERP systems or data warehouses or even just large transactional data sets. And here's the reality. The data is stored in database tables, not in spreadsheets, which means if you don't know SQL, you're dependent on IT or data teams or just slow refreshes in Excel. And that slows you down. But SQL changes that. SQL lets you extract exactly what you need, filter and summarize huge amounts of data instantly, and then you can even connect it directly into tools like Power BI, or you could just work more efficiently through Excel with Power Query. Now for this roadmap, I'll be using a realistic financial data set from my SQL Playground online. You can click the link in the description and follow along. It's free and there's no technical setup. The data set includes sales transactions, customers, products, and dates. So everything we do is based on real financial scenarios, not generic examples. So let me show you what this actually looks like in practice. In the SQL query editor, we're going to write select customer underscore name, comma, sum of revenue as total revenue from sales underscore data underscore flat group by customer underscore name. So hit run query. In this query, I'm taking raw transaction data and I'm summarizing the revenue by customer. Now this is what most people are trying to do in Excel, but with manual steps. And if you're brand new to SQL, this is the moment most SQL tutorials for beginners skip, applying aggregations to actual financial data, but we're focusing on it in these videos. Now let's break this down into 4 stages. Stage 1 is your SQL Basics or Foundations. This is where everyone starts. You learn select, what data you want, from, where the data is. Where is used for filtering data. For example, we could answer the question, show total revenue from a sales table, filter to a specific month, or filter the data to a specific customer. So for this example, we're going to start with how to answer the question, give me the total sales for a specific customer. So in the SQL editor, we'll write the query, select star from sales underscore data underscore flat, where customer underscore name equals, in quotation marks, Apex convenience. And run the query. And as you can see, the results are filtered by the where keyword. This is exactly like filtering in Excel, but it works instantly on thousands or even millions of rows. So this is already a lot more efficient than Excel filtering that can crash on a big data set. Stage 2 is aggregation. This is where the real analysis starts. Now we introduce group by. This is where SQL becomes really powerful for finance. So you can use it to summarize revenue by customer, or break down sales by product, or analyze performance by month. This is core financial analyst or FP&A work. This replaces pivot tables in Excel, but it's at scale. So in the SQL editor, we will update the query to only select the product and the sum of the revenue, and then group the results by product. In the SQL editor, we're going to write select product underscore name, comma, sum of revenue as total revenue from sales underscore data underscore flat group by product underscore name and run the query. Now we're summarizing revenue by product. And this is your typical finance breakdown. This replaces pivot tables, but it's repeatable and scalable on big data sets. Now, stage 3 is joins, and this is the game changer in finance. This is where most financial professionals struggle, but it's also something you really have to understand, because data is generally stored in multiple tables in companies, not just one table. So you can have separate tables for transactions, customers, and products, and many more. And SQL lets you combine them using joins. Now, in particular, the left join combines two tables and retains all the rows in the left table, even if they're not in the right table. Now, this is critical for finance because it lets you quickly compare or reconcile two sets of data and identify gaps, such as customers with no sales or products with missing data. But you could even reconcile mismatches between tables. And this is where SQL becomes better than Excel, not just different. We're going to write the query where we are selecting all the customers in the customers table and using a left join with the sales table. So bringing in sales data where it exists for customers. So we're going to write select C dot customer underscore name, comma, sum S dot revenue as total revenue from customers C, left join sales S on C dot customer underscore ID equals S dot customer underscore ID. Group by C dot customer underscore name and run it. Now notice, some customers have null revenue. These are customers with no sales. Now this is something Excel struggles with, but in SQL, this is a simple left join query. Okay, stage 4 is real finance use cases. This is where you become valuable. So using the same data set, you can now answer, who are our top customers? Or where is revenue declining? Or which products are underperforming? Or what's driving the variance versus budget? This is what finance teams actually care about. So in the SQL query editor, we're going to write select customer underscore name, comma, sum of revenue as total revenue from sales underscore data underscore flat group by customer underscore name order by total underscore revenue. DESC, which is descending, and run the query. Now, this is a real business question. Who are our top customers? This is where SQL becomes valuable, not just technical. So let's address the big question. Should you replace Excel? And the answer is no. Excel is still essential. But here's the shift. The best finance professionals and financial analysts use both. SQL gets the data, and Excel or Power BI presents it. So using SQL queries, you filter the data you don't need before you even start your analysis, and then you move into Excel or Power BI with only the data you need. And it makes you a lot more efficient and accurate. You're only working with the data you need by filtering out the data you don't need at the source. Now, I just want to say being pro in SQL for finance does not mean writing huge complex queries or advanced coding. It means you can independently answer business questions with the data that you can access. It also means providing answers and insights more efficiently. That's it. Now, everything I've shown you, filtering, grouping, joins, that's your roadmap. If you're starting from zero, here's exactly what I'd do. I'd learn select and where, and then move to group by. Focus heavily on joins once you're ready to move on. Practice with real financial data sets. And most importantly, don't just learn the syntax. Actually solve financial problems. In the next video, I'll go deeper into select and where using this same data set. So that's your stage one. That's for your foundation for SQL for financial analysis. So subscribe so you don't miss that one. I'll see you in the next one.